as much as I do, I rather would not put the blame game on India. I would rather give it to England because they went for wickets. They did not play defensive cricket. They attacked. They bought Jack Leach to bowl to Stokes. Who would probably do this? And when you take risk, you get rewarded. Sometimes you get hit, but no risk, no reward. And England has earned this victory by the way of taking risk.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to a special episode of Straight Bat with Mr. Cricket UAE and Gulf News. With me, I've got the man himself, Mr. Cricket Anis Sajan, and we'll also be joined by cricket enthusiast Sahil in a short while from now. Now, it's not difficult to assume why we have gathered today. We have just gotten over what had been a fantastic example of Test cricket. I'll come back to Anis. We have been saying that this is the New England who have been playing their baseball cricket. How do sum up this Test match? I mean, India 132 runs ahead in the first innings. Still, England didn't let their self-belief down. How do you sum it up, Anis?
Thank you, Gautam, and hello to all the beautiful people of Gulf News. You're right, Mr. Gautam. Like they say, this is the New England. But one thing is saying it, and the other thing is executing it. You know what, Gautam? We all have been watching Test matches now for how many years? Maybe probably me, at least for 30, 35 years. And we've always loved this sport as a purist watching Test cricket, in the way it has to be played. But this New England team under Brendan McCullum and Brendan Stokes believe in enjoying the moment and winning in and putting a fear in the opposition camp that whatever target you post, we are going to damn chase it. And that is what they did it, not only against New Zealand in the first 3 Test matches, and boy, 375 is no mean target. They chase it as it was a walk in the park.
Absolutely. I mean, I would reckon that you will feel that looking back, the seed of this, this record chase was actually sown in those 3 Test matches against New Zealand. I mean, all 250 plus chases, which is never easy. When you're batting in the 4th innings. So what did the trick? We all know that, McCullum, the kind of cricket he would advise, but it was a joint, effort by McCullum and Stokes. And would you also feel that, trying to take everyone on board, like trying to take Anderson and Broad on board the moment Stokes came back? These are some of the little factors which, revamp the team spirit and the dressing room again.
Very important, Gautam, and I'm glad you asked me this question, that how it can just turn around in a matter of just Brendan McCullum joining in. He doesn't have a magic wand where he's just come here and, like, done a round of magic wands in front of the team and the team has delivered. This same England team, before this was in West Indies, where they lost 1-0. They lost in Australia 4-0. They lost in India 3-1. And when India went there, they had gone down to India 2-1 before that pandemic struck. So what triggered? Well, yes, first and foremost, like they got the big boys, Anderson and Broad on board, gave them the confidence. There's no, you are the bowlers. We are going to back you. Then, most importantly, the batsmen, whether it is the likes of Crawley, the Lees, or the guys following them, they gave them the confidence, especially Johnny Bairstow. Mind you, he had a couple of hundreds, one in West Indies and one in Australia. But England were playing that fearful cricket so far. But they gave them the belief, no matter what happens, you go and enjoy and express yourself and you're going to win Test matches. And again, I'm repeating, Gautam, saying it is one thing and doing it is another thing. And chasing 300 runs 4 times and the way they have chased it, it's making mockery of the opposition.
Right. At the end of the day, the similarity lay in these 4 wins had been in chases. Now, is it a kind of mindset? I know, like Bairstow, after that century, after he played the match winner against New Zealand, he said that this is the mindset I'm carrying from IPL. So, would you think that there is a kind of fallout in the way they're chasing? They're not, in fact, Stokes said that, we would have liked to see if they had given us 450, we would have liked to challenge ourselves. So, this chasing bit, is it a fallout of the white ball cricket or the kind of white ball cricket they had been playing for around 7 years?
Well, you can say that. I was about to come to that point that after the 2015 early World Cup exit in New Zealand, Australia, where England were knocked out in the league stage, It was Owen Morgan and Andrew Strauss turned around the team, and England was a team to beat. They won almost everything except they lost in the semi-finals to Pakistan in the Champions Trophy and pairing one series or a couple of series in India. They beat everybody with that fearless cricket. They changed the way one-day cricket was played. And I remember Morgan telling to me very clearly that they had taken a leaf out of Brendan McCullum's cricket. And now it's not coincidence that Brendan McCullum has taken charge of the England team. And yes, he has come with a plan that, boys, go and enjoy, go and express yourself. And one more line did Stokes add, it's not just about going bang, bang. It's about playing cricket with proper mindset. But again, I said that when you say that you go and enjoy, express yourself. But unless you play that fearless cricket, which you saw Ben Stokes throwing his wicket away, at one time you feel what's going on. But this is not going to happen every time. They are ready for that. But what is important is that they have the belief and they back the players to the core.
Right. Well, I mean, this kind of brings us to to the Indian cricket team a bit. I mean, before we again move to England, because we need to give the credit where it's due. But having said that, the team that 7 months, 8 months back, I'd like to start from there. The team which went there and came back with 2-1 when they came to UAE to play the IPL. There had been a change at the helm. I mean, there had been, you've changed the captain, you have changed the coach. Though for all practical purposes, there seems to be a bit of a leadership crisis now in the Indian team in both formats. So what has gone wrong? I mean, why is this team, despite that bravado from Rishabh Pant, despite Cheteshwar Pujara playing like himself in the second innings, what went wrong? I mean, I will come to the way they batted, they took the match away on the fourth afternoon. But before that, do you think what went wrong? I mean, was all these changes for the better?
Well, Gautam, and I want to welcome Sahil, who has also joined us on the show. But what you have asked is a very valid point, that what has gone wrong with Indian team. Now, to be very honest, when you look at the flip side, when you put 375 runs on the board, you would say Bumrah has done everything right. To be very honest, from the beginning, when he hit 35 runs of Stuart Broad, picked up 3 early wickets to give India that good start, bowled England out, got a lead of 130, and then 375 on the board. It looked all rosy. But in hindsight, we could see that there was something lacking in the captainship. I don't want to put the blame on Jasprit Bumrah, to be very honest, for this loss. But India were rattled. India had no idea what to go about. There were 3 captains on the field. Jasprit Bumrah is the good boy of the Indian team. And there we had the Virat Kohlis putting up his view in his ears. Then we had the Rishabh Pants. And of course, Shreyas Iyer and others handling. So, when you are captained by 5 players on this field, it's not that easy. So I don't know what would have happened if Rohit Sharma would have captained. It's now easy to make assumptions. But Indian team has been hampered by the chaos what they created by the sacking of Virat Kohli as an ODI captain, which led him to leave his test cricket captainship. And we can all see we lost in South Africa. In both the test matches we were ahead, but we lost in the South Africa. We couldn't defend 245, and today again 375 we couldn't say. So like England has built a team about confidence. India's confidence, I'm afraid, have gone down. They've already from number 1 become number 2, and they are chasing probably the World Test Championship points now.
Right. On that note, I welcome Sahil into the show. Sahil, I remember you had put in your money on India, and quite rightly so. I mean, honestly, the first 3 days, they were very much in the fight. The way they resurrected that first innings itself, there was a lot of hope that they can indeed come back with a series win after 2007. Where did it start falling apart, Sahil? Was it the 4th afternoon? What did you reckon?
I mean, you can clearly say from the match, if you saw the test match, everything was going right for India. They were on track, they scored a 400, and then they had a lead of 130. And then for England's second innings, I think first of all, for India, only scoring 245 in the second innings, which is not right. They should have had a lead of 450 to be on the safer side, because we know the brand of cricket England has developed under Brendan McCullum. But when England were 109 for 3, Pope got out, Alex Lees got run out. So you saw India on track. But then they were playing bowling well too, Root and Bairstow. They were rattled for a while. And then everything went wrong after that drop catch of Vihari. He dropped the series, and I blame the fielder. You should not drop such catches. Even Pant dropped one, but that was tough. But Vihari dropped the series, and I will blame him for this loss after that drop catch. It was tough. It straight in his hands. It came really quickly, but he should have taken it. There are no excuses for that.
Right. Yeah, I mean that catch will really come back to haunt Vihari, because I believe Bairstow was fourth then. But then how that evening panned out. I mean there was a bit of sameness about the Indian attack. When batting became so easy and these two were really milking it by playing some sensible cricket. Do you think, once again, I would like to bring back the Ashwin factor here? Would you have liked to see him in place of Shardul Thakur? Because what was Shardul's contribution?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, I'd stick with Shardul Thakur. He had done well in the 4 tests. Why would India want to drop Shardul Thakur? Yes, he did not make much of a difference. He did not do that well with the ball. He got Ben Stokes out in the first innings, but he did not make a difference with the bat. Now it's easiest to say like, oh, why didn't Ashwin play? No, Thakur should have played. He'd done well in the series. He had got Root out earlier in the 1 of 4 test matches. So I'm pretty sure he deserved to play. Yes, he did not have a good game. So it's easier said than done, like, oh, Ashwin should have played.
Right. Well, I'll come to Anis Bhai once again. Anis Bhai, this Indian team, I mean, in the test team especially, suddenly you see a number of holes appearing. I mean, now Shubman Gill has failed in both the innings. Cheteshwar Pujara at best. I mean, of course, Rohit Sharma is going to come in there. Virat, again, this had been the old quandary. I mean, the more we say about it, it seems to be leading nowhere with 2 efforts of 11 and 20. First innings, he, the dilemma with which he went about that shot. I mean, he looked like leaving it, and then he finally had to nudge at it. So there are a number of holes here. And has the role of Rahul Dravid suddenly become tougher, Anis Bhai? Because you see, he has been at it for nearly 7-8 months now.
Well, Gautam, again, a very good question put by you, that the guys like the Shubman Gills, the Ayers, and I'm afraid Virat Kohli's, I would use the word, bad run of not scoring 100 or not scoring big for India is hurting India big time. And with Rahul Dravid coming in the last 7 months, you've seen 5-6 captains being replaced one after the other, be it for injury or be it for the chaos which has been created at the Indian by the Indian think tank. But now there will be fingers pointed out if India keep going down like this. Okay, you can win at home with spinning tracks and dominate the opposition, but a good side's performance will be only seen when you win abroad. Okay, India won in Australia, India has not won in South Africa, but India came close beating to South Africa. India were almost as good as winning against England. So this was built under Virat Kohli's captainship. Mind you, he's the only captain who's won 40 test matches. And I still want to come to the point which you asked me earlier and which we have discussed earlier. Why would you say that it is too much of a captainship when Virat Kohli himself said, I want to step down as T20 because he was not successful and he gave it up. So why would you drop him as an ODI captain just because he doesn't want to continue T20? And of course, if I am Virat Kohli and who has done wonders for Indian cricket, it's going to hit him hard. And that's the reason he let the test championship go away, test captainship go away. Yes, he has not been scoring runs, but what was important, Mr. Gautam, Indian team was doing well. Now, same thing, Ben Stokes was not doing well. He scored probably, I think, 1 innings of 50, 60. That too, he was bowled off a no ball. But they backed him. So when a team is doing well, why would you try to rub in and make the team go haywire? Indian team was absolutely on track. The number 1 team for almost 3 years. India was dominating test cricket left, right, and center. Yes, at home, but also at abroad. So why would you finger it? And I'm afraid, what is the fitness of Rohit Sharma? We don't know how it is going to go along. It's already 35. Are you thinking about the Rishabh Pants to take up the test captainship? No, test captainship doesn't come like this on a platter. You need to build it. And I'm afraid now India will have to do a lot of rebuilding. I don't think Virat Kohli is going to take up the test captainship. It's going to go downhill for India till India come back as the new India, which I'm afraid it will not.
Right. A number of number of questions there. I'll come to just looking forward. The issue is there is not much time to think. I mean, today I think the first of the T20s is on the 7th, right? So I'll come to Sahil. Sahil, you see, once again, when it comes to T20, it's a different ball game. But then you've got an England team, I mean, who has been playing there. It's a kind of a role reversal from the white ball cricket with the kind of panache that they've been playing there. So in that series size, do you think India can kind of stage a turnaround? These are short series, I mean, with small margins, I mean, 3-3 matches. What do you feel, Sahil? How is that going to pan out, the two white ball series?
Yeah, why not? Why can't India turn it around? India are good in all three formats, be it T20, ODI, and Test cricket. So why not? Yes, England are one of the best team in T20 cricket, but definitely I'm going to back India also because they have a good squad. Yes, India are the only team who actually not only India and England rotate their team a lot now. Since in the past few years, we've been seeing that India and England both have been rotating the teams a lot. So let's see what happens. It's going to be a good series. It's more about, getting some good practice for the World Cup, and we'll see how the big guns play. And we know how the English have turned the T20 game around, likes of how Owen Morgan, who has retired now, Johnny Bairstow, Jason Roy, these people have changed the modern game.
Right. Yeah, no amount of praise is enough for the short time. And even in that England-West Indies series, this England team looked, there were too many rifts in the team. So the turnaround had been really thick and fast. But I'll before closing shop, I'll again come back to Anis Bhai once more. Anis Bhai, now in 2 years, around the same time, this June, July, India have let go their moments. They didn't, seize their moments in both the World Test Championship final and now this one, where a lot of brownie points could have come with it. This one in particular, do you think there was a question of the mindset left a certain amount to be desired, that of playing a crucial test match?
Very fair, Gautam. The last World Test Championship, which we lost in New Zealand, almost 3 days were robbed because of rain. And the first innings was even where we had leaked probably 30-40 runs as a lead to the New Zealanders. But it's just that on the last day, when the sun came out, India probably played brainless cricket. I remember India were 2 down going into the last day with 60 for 2 and leading by 27 runs. They went hell for leather. I had no idea what was happening in that test match. They could have easily saved that test match by playing sensible cricket because they had nothing to gain. They wouldn't have won the test match by setting England a target of, New Zealand a target of 200, but they did not learn from it. And again, this was another opportunity in the series against the last test match where the series was online. India had not won a series against England from 2006. And this was a golden opportunity, and they had seen what New Zealand had done, what mistakes New Zealand had done, and we could have easily batted England out. But you hear, as much as I do, I rather would not put the blame game on India. I would rather give it to England because they went for wickets. They did not play defensive cricket. They attacked. They bought Jack Leach to bowl to Stokes. Who would probably do this? And when you take risk, you get rewarded. Sometimes you get hit, but no risk, no reward. And England has earned this victory by the way of taking risk.
Right. Thank you so much, Anis Bhai. Thank you, Sahil. I think, yes, it was nice that we could catch up on an occasion like this. Thank you. Thanks to the viewers for tuning in. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Mr. Gautam. Thank you, Sahil. Thank you to all the lovely people. Bye-bye.